Good morning, good afternoon people, welcome back. It's me again with another video, another topic, this time shading regions, shading inequalities, representing inequalities, however you want to call it. As usual, I hope you're fine, I hope you're safe, I hope you're keeping cool, you're not doing anything I wouldn't do. Anyway, okay, so something we've done before, but we're going to try again, refresh our minds, and take it from there. Before I do that, probably should get a different color pen to do this. Right, so, not difficult, just remembering which way things go, okay? So, first region I am going to represent is X is less than 3. The exam would say something like, in the diagram, represent the region that satisfies the inequality X is strictly less than 3. So, first of all, you will see a pair of axes, X and Y, and we want the bit of the diagram where X is less than 3. So, first of all, where in the diagram is X less than 3? Well, we're talking about X, so we're talking about the X-axis, and we're talking where is it less than 3. So we're going to find 3 in the X-axis, sorry. See how I told you? You're going to keep track of what's where. Okay, and because X is strictly less than 3, I'm going to draw a dotted line going through there and then shading the bit where X is less than 3. So it's obviously to the left of that, so I will get my pencil and my pen, possibly the pen in the exam, and shading to the left of the line. That's it. X is less than 3. Sorted. Easiest one mark you could ever get. Let's do another one. Let's do the next. Y is greater than or equal to minus 2. So I will need my pair of axes again, X and Y, and it says Y is greater than or equal to minus 2. So because it says Y, I'm looking at the Y-axis, and which bit of the y-axis is greater than or equal to minus 2? Well, minus 2 is there. Because minus 2 is there, and I want the bit above, because I want the y values to be greater than or equal to minus 2, this time, instead of a dotted line, I'm going to draw a solid line, because y could be equal to minus 2. In the case of the x, it couldn't be equal to 3, which is why we drew a dotted line or a dashed line. Here it's going to be a solid line, and I want the y values that are greater than minus 2, so I want to be above the line, so I will shade in all of that, and I'm done. That's it. Another easy mark. Thank you very much, examiner. Move on to the next question. Next question is going to be this. I may have to figure out two different regions. So the question may read something like, shading the region that satisfies these two inequalities. So it needs to satisfy these two inequalities at the same time. So I'm going to draw them both in the same pair of axes. So x-axis, y-axis, x greater than minus 2, but let's worry about, first of all, minus 3 is here, and is it going to be a solid or a dotted line? A dotted line. And because it says x is greater than minus 3, I want to be shading in all to the right of that line. However, I also have to consider the other inequality, so I need to have both at the same time. So x has to be less than or equal to 2. So first of all, figure out where 2 is. Is it going to be a solid line or a dotted line? Got a solid line there, and is x is less than or equal to 2, so less than is to the side. So which region satisfies both inequalities at the same time? Which bit of the graph is both to the right of that line and to the left of this one? It's just a bit in the middle. So I would just shade in the bit between the two lines. And typically in the exam they ask you to label the area with an R for region, so you'll write it if they ask you to. And that's it. That's just two inequalities represented at the same time. If they are really mean, if they want to make you work hard for your marks, you may get, this could be like a 4-mark question where you have multiple inequalities to represent, and one of them is actually a straight line, which makes your life a little bit more complicated if you remember your graphs of straight lines. So let's have a go. I would start by plotting my x and my y axis. I will leave that for last, and I will do these two first because I am a lot more comfortable with those. Okay, x is strictly less than 4. Where is it going to go? Well, it's going to go on the x-axis at 4. Obviously, with all these questions, you're doing them in your books. You've got square paper. You will use the lines in your square paper. In the exam, there will be a diagram with the lines, so you can do it properly. It's going to be a dotted line of 4. And I know it's going to be everything to the left. But I've got 2 more inequalities to represent, so I'm not going to start shading in just yet. My second inequality is y greater than or equal to -2, which is the same one we did earlier. So I've got a -2, a solid line, and it's everything above. So far I know that it's going to be to the left of this line and above this line, so I'm looking at this area there. But I've got the third line there, y is less than or equal to x plus 3. I need to plot that straight line. We've done straight line plotting before. If you do not remember, you need to revise that and have a look. That line, imagine that this was y equals x plus 3, because to all intent and purposes, we need to plot that line. This line has got an intercept of 3. You remember what that means? It means it goes through 3 on the y-axis, and I need to think about the gradient. The gradient of the line is 1. So it's a diagonal line, it's a 45-degree diagonal line going through 3, so it's going to be a line that looks something like that. And it's a solid line because it's less than or equal to. Now, I want to be below that line because it says y less than or equal to. So I want to be below the line, so below the diagonal line, to the left of the vertical line, and above the horizontal line. So shading the region that satisfies all those 3 inequalities. That's the region that I am after. Hopefully you can see properly. There's an R there for region, by the way. And this is it. This is how you represent regions, inequalities on a pair of axes. I'm hoping, as usual, that was clear, that was helpful. But please let me know if there's something I can do to improve, anything I can change to help. Your feedback is more than appreciated. Now all you have to do is take notes, clear examples, and practice, 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 practice. I look forward to receiving all your work and hearing from you. Stay safe, stay happy, take care. See you later. Bye.